Have you ever wondered if the food sitting in your kitchen right now could be quietly harming one of the hardest working organs in your body? Here's something surprising. Many people believe kidney disease only affects those with diabetes or high blood pressure. While those are important risk factors, daily eating habits can also place unnecessary stress on the kidneys, often long before any symptoms appear. The most concerning part? Kidney damage is often called a silent condition. In its early stages, there may be no pain, no warning signs, and nothing that feels obviously wrong. Yet behind the scenes, your kidneys may already be working much harder than they should. Today's discussion is not about fear. It's about awareness. By understanding which everyday foods can put extra strain on your kidneys, you can make smarter choices that may help protect your health for years to come. Stay with me until the end, because the final point surprises many people. It's a food category that millions consider healthy, yet consuming too much in the wrong way may not always be kidney-friendly. Let's begin. Have you ever stopped to think about how much salt you consume in a single day? Most people immediately picture the salt shaker sitting on the dining table. They assume that if they don't add extra salt to their meals, they're keeping their sodium intake under control. But here's the surprising reality. For many people, the majority of the sodium they consume never comes from the salt they sprinkle on food. It comes from foods that are already packaged, processed, or prepared, long before they reach the plate. This means you could be eating far more sodium than you realize without ever tasting an overly salty meal. Your kidneys perform an extraordinary job every single minute of every day. They filter your blood, remove waste products, maintain the right balance of minerals, and carefully regulate the amount of sodium and water in your body. Think of them as highly efficient filtration systems that never take a day off. Every time you eat, your kidneys begin adjusting your body's internal balance, ensuring that excess sodium is removed while preserving the nutrients your body needs. When sodium intake remains within a healthy range, this process works remarkably well. However, when large amounts of sodium are consumed day after day, month after month, and year after year, your kidneys have to work much harder to keep everything in balance. One of the biggest concerns with excessive sodium isn't just the extra workload placed on the kidneys. High sodium intake can contribute to increased blood pressure in many individuals. When there's too much sodium in the bloodstream, the body tends to retain more water. This extra fluid increases the volume of blood flowing through your blood vessels, creating additional pressure against the vessel walls. Over time, persistently elevated blood pressure can damage the tiny, delicate blood vessels inside the kidneys that perform the critical task of filtering waste from your blood. These microscopic filters are incredibly sensitive, and once they're damaged, they may not function as efficiently as they once did. That's why high blood pressure is recognized as one of the leading risk factors for chronic kidney disease around the world. The challenge is that sodium often hides in foods that don't even taste particularly salty. A bowl of canned soup, a frozen dinner after a busy day, instant noodles, packaged sauces, deli meats, flavored crackers, breakfast cereals, fast food meals, pizza, and even some breads can all contain surprisingly high amounts of sodium. Many people choose these foods because they're quick, affordable, and convenient, but eating them regularly can quietly increase daily sodium intake far beyond recommended levels. Reading the nutrition label can be eye-opening. Two similar-looking products, sitting side by side on a grocery store shelf, may contain dramatically different amounts of sodium, making label reading one of the simplest habits that supports healthier food choices. The encouraging news is that protecting your kidneys doesn't mean eliminating flavor from your meals. In fact, many professional chefs create delicious dishes by relying on herbs, spices, citrus, garlic, onions, ginger, rosemary, basil, thyme, oregano, black pepper, paprika, and fresh lemon juice instead of excessive salt. These ingredients enhance natural flavors while helping reduce sodium intake. Cooking more meals at home also gives you greater control over what goes into your food, allowing you to season it according to your preferences rather than relying on heavily processed ingredients. It's also important to remember that healthy eating isn't about perfection. You don't need to avoid every restaurant meal or completely eliminate your favorite foods overnight. Sustainable changes are usually the ones that last. Swapping processed snacks for fresh alternatives a few times a week, choosing low-sodium versions of packaged products when available, preparing homemade soups instead of canned varieties, and limiting highly processed convenience foods can gradually reduce your overall sodium intake without making you feel deprived. Your kidneys are incredibly resilient, but they aren't invincible. They work tirelessly behind the scenes every moment of your life, asking for very little in return. By becoming more aware of hidden sodium sources and making thoughtful choices each day, you're giving these remarkable organs the support they deserve. Small improvements made consistently over months and years can have a meaningful impact on your long-term kidney health, proving that simple everyday decisions often become the foundation for a healthier future. Now let's turn our attention to another everyday habit that often seems harmless, but can gradually affect your overall health, including the health of your kidneys. Think about how many sweetened beverages are available today. Soft drinks, energy drinks, sweetened iced teas, flavored coffees, sports drinks, fruit punches, and even beverages marketed as refreshing or natural can contain surprisingly large amounts of added sugar. Because they're liquids, they're easy to consume quickly, and many people don't realize just how much sugar they're drinking in a single serving. In fact, one large bottle of a sweetened beverage may contain more added sugar than many people should consume in an entire day. Unlike solid foods that help you feel full, sugary drinks often provide calories without creating the same feeling of satisfaction. As a result, it's easy to drink several servings throughout the day without reducing the amount of food you eat. Over weeks, months, and years, this habit can contribute to unwanted weight gain. Excess body weight increases the risk of developing several chronic health conditions, including type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. Why is this important when discussing kidney health? Because these two conditions are among the leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. While enjoying an occasional sweet drink is unlikely to cause immediate harm for most healthy individuals, making sugary beverages a regular part of your daily routine may increase long-term health risks. When blood sugar levels remain elevated over long periods, the kidneys are forced to filter excess glucose from the bloodstream. These remarkable organs work tirelessly to maintain balance, but constant exposure to high blood sugar can gradually damage the tiny filtering units inside the kidneys. Early on, a person may feel completely normal. There may be no pain, no obvious symptoms, and no reason to suspect anything is changing. Yet beneath the surface, the kidneys may already be under increasing strain. This silent progression is one reason why prevention is so valuable. Making healthier choices before problems develop is often much easier than trying to reverse damage later. Another point that many people overlook is that some soft drinks and processed beverages contain phosphorus additives. Phosphorus itself is an essential mineral that plays an important role in maintaining healthy bones and supporting many functions throughout the body. However, phosphorus added during food processing is absorbed more easily than naturally occurring phosphorus found in whole foods. For individuals who already have reduced kidney function, excessive intake of phosphorus additives may become difficult for the kidneys to manage. This doesn't mean everyone should completely avoid these beverages, but it does highlight why reading ingredient labels and limiting highly processed drinks can be a wise decision, especially for those who have been advised by their healthcare provider to monitor phosphorus intake. Energy drinks deserve special attention as well. Many contain not only large amounts of sugar, but also significant amounts of caffeine and other stimulants. While caffeine can be safely consumed in moderation by many healthy adults, combining high sugar content with excessive caffeine may encourage dehydration in some situations, particularly if these drinks replace water throughout the day. Proper hydration is one of the simplest ways to support normal kidney function. Water allows the kidneys to efficiently filter waste products and maintain the body's natural balance of fluids and minerals. Fortunately, making healthier beverage choices doesn't have to feel restrictive. Plain water remains one of the best options for most people. If you find water too plain, there are many simple ways to make it more enjoyable without adding large amounts of sugar. Fresh lemon slices, cucumber, mint leaves, orange slices, strawberries, or a few blueberries can naturally enhance the flavor while keeping the drink refreshing. Unsweetened herbal teas can also be an excellent alternative for many individuals. If you're accustomed to drinking sugary beverages every day, you don't have to quit overnight. Start by replacing one sweetened drink each day with water or another unsweetened option. As your taste buds gradually adapt, you'll often find that beverages you once considered normal begin to taste much sweeter than before. Remember, the goal isn't perfection or completely eliminating every enjoyable treat from your life. It's about recognizing patterns that may quietly influence your long-term health. Your kidneys work continuously to protect you, filtering nearly every drop of blood in your body many times each day. Supporting them can be as simple as paying closer attention to what you drink. Small, consistent improvements in your daily beverage choices can become powerful investments in your future health, helping protect not only your kidneys but your heart, metabolism, and overall well-being for years to come. Let's talk about another group of foods that quietly finds its way into millions of meals every single day. Processed meats. They are convenient, widely available, and often taste delicious, which is why many people keep them in their refrigerators without giving them much thought. Whether it's bacon at breakfast, ham in a sandwich, sausage with dinner, pepperoni on a pizza, hot dogs at a barbecue, or deli meats in a quick lunch. These foods have become a regular part of modern eating habits. While enjoying them occasionally is unlikely to be a problem for most healthy individuals, relying on them as everyday staples may not be the best choice for long-term kidney health. One of the biggest concerns with processed meats is their sodium content. As we've already discussed, sodium plays an important role in the body, but consuming too much over time can increase the workload placed on your kidneys. Manufacturers often add large amounts of salt during processings to improve flavor, preserve freshness, and extend shelf life. In many cases, a single serving of processed meat can contain several hundred milligrams of sodium, and because people often eat more than one serving at a time, the total sodium intake can rise very quickly. Imagine starting your day with bacon, having a ham sandwich for lunch, and finishing with pepperoni pizza for dinner. Even if none of those meals seem unusually salty, the combined sodium intake may be much higher than expected. Beyond sodium, processed meats frequently contain preservatives such as nitrates and nitrites, along with various flavor enhancers and other additives. These ingredients help maintain color, texture, and shelf stability, but they also highlight an important difference between fresh, minimally processed foods and heavily processed products. While research continues to explore the long-term health effects of different food additives, many nutrition experts encourage limiting highly processed foods as part of an overall healthy dietary pattern. Choosing more whole, minimally processed foods often means consuming fewer unnecessary additives, while increasing the intake of beneficial nutrients. Another factor to consider is the amount of saturated fat found in many processed meat products. Diets consistently high in saturated fat may contribute to elevated cholesterol levels and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease in some individuals. You may wonder why heart health matters when we're discussing the kidneys. The answer is surprisingly simple. Your heart and kidneys are closely connected. The heart pumps blood that the kidneys continuously filter. Healthy blood vessels help ensure that the kidneys receive a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood, allowing them to function efficiently. When cardiovascular health declines, kidney health may also be affected over time. Protecting one organ often helps protect the other. It's also important to remember that processed meats are often paired with other foods that are high in sodium and refined carbohydrates. Think about a hot dog served with chips, a sausage biscuit from a fast food restaurant, or a pepperoni pizza with processed dipping sauces. These combinations can significantly increase your intake of sodium, unhealthy fats, and excess calories in a single meal. When this pattern becomes a daily habit, it may contribute to weight gain, high blood pressure, and metabolic problems that place additional strain on the kidneys over the years. The encouraging news is that healthier alternatives are widely available and can still be satisfying. Fresh chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, beans, lentils, tofu, and other minimally processed protein sources provide essential nutrients while typically containing much less sodium than processed meats. Preparing meals at home also gives you greater control over ingredients, allowing you to season foods with herbs, garlic, onions, black pepper, paprika, rosemary, thyme, or lemon juice instead of relying on heavily processed products for flavor. These simple changes can make meals both delicious and more supportive of long-term health. Another practical habit that can make a meaningful difference is learning to read nutrition labels before placing products in your shopping cart. Two brands of the same type of deli meat may look nearly identical, yet one may contain substantially less sodium than the other. Looking at serving sizes, sodium content, and ingredient lists takes only a few seconds, but over months and years, these small decisions can add up to healthier eating habits. Becoming an informed shopper empowers you to make choices that align with your health goals without completely giving up foods you enjoy. The key message isn't that processed meats must be eliminated forever, or that enjoying them occasionally is automatically harmful. Nutrition is about patterns rather than isolated meals. If processed meats appear on your plate once in a while as part of an otherwise balanced diet, that's very different from depending on them every single day. Your kidneys work around the clock to filter waste, regulate minerals, and keep your body's internal environment stable. Supporting these remarkable organs often comes down to making thoughtful choices consistently rather than seeking perfection. By gradually replacing heavily processed meats with fresher protein options and paying closer attention to sodium intake, you can reduce unnecessary stress on your kidneys while supporting your heart and overall well-being for many years to come. Now, let's look at something many people rarely think about, because it seems so harmless. Snacking. Most of us don't sit down intending to eat large amounts of unhealthy food. Instead, it's the small bites between meals that often go unnoticed. A handful of chips while watching television, a few cookies with afternoon coffee, a packet of crackers during a busy workday, or a packaged pastry grabbed on the way out the door may not seem like a big deal. Individually, these choices appear insignificant. But when they become part of your daily routine, they can quietly shape your long-term health in ways that are easy to overlook. Many packaged snack foods are classified as ultra-processed foods. This simply means they have gone through multiple stages of processing and often contain ingredients that are not commonly used in home cooking. These products frequently combine refined carbohydrates, added sugars, excessive sodium, unhealthy fats, flavor enhancers, preservatives, and artificial ingredients designed to improve taste, texture, and shelf life. While these foods are convenient and enjoyable, they are usually much lower in fiber, vitamins, and beneficial nutrients than whole, minimally processed foods. One reason these snacks can become problematic is that they're designed to be highly appealing. Their combination of salt, sugar, and fat often encourages people to keep eating beyond the point of hunger. It's surprisingly easy to finish an entire bag of chips or a package of cookies without realizing how many calories, how much sodium, or how much added sugar has been consumed. Over time, these extra calories can contribute to gradual weight gain. This isn't something that happens overnight. It develops slowly, one snack at a time, making it difficult to recognize until the habit has become deeply established. Why does this matter for your kidneys? Because excess body weight is associated with an increased risk of developing conditions such as high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. As we've discussed, these are two of the most common causes of chronic kidney disease. When unhealthy snacking becomes a daily habit over many years, it can indirectly place greater stress on the kidneys by contributing to these underlying health conditions. In other words, the snacks themselves aren't simply affecting one part of the body. they may influence your overall metabolic health, which in turn affects how hard your kidneys must work every single day. Another issue is the hidden sodium found in many packaged snacks. Potato chips, flavored crackers, cheese snacks, instant noodles, microwave popcorn with heavy seasoning, and many savory convenience foods can contain surprisingly high amounts of salt. Because people often eat these products between meals, they may not include them when thinking about their daily sodium intake. Yet several small snacks throughout the day can sometimes contain as much sodium as a full meal. Combined with sodium from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the total intake may exceed recommended levels without the person ever realizing it. Added sugars present another concern. Sweet snacks such as packaged cakes, pastries, candy bars, cookies, and sweetened breakfast treats can cause frequent spikes in blood sugar, especially when eaten regularly. While enjoying dessert occasionally is perfectly reasonable for many healthy individuals, relying on sugary snacks several times each day can contribute to poor dietary balance over time. Consistently high sugar intake may increase the risk of obesity, insulin resistance, and eventually type 2 diabetes, all of which can place additional demands on the kidneys. Fortunately, replacing unhealthy snacks doesn't require giving up enjoyment. In fact, some of the most satisfying snacks come from whole foods. Fresh fruits provide natural sweetness along with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Raw vegetables paired with hummus offer crunch and nutrition without excessive sodium. Plain yogurt topped with fresh berries can satisfy a sweet craving while providing protein and calcium. Unsalted nuts, eaten in appropriate portions for most healthy individuals, can provide healthy fats and help keep you feeling full. Air-popped popcorn prepared with minimal salt is another enjoyable option that contains more fiber than many packaged snack foods. These alternatives nourish the body rather than simply filling the stomach. Planning ahead can also make a remarkable difference. Many people choose processed snacks not because they prefer them, but because they're the easiest option available during a busy day. Keeping healthy snacks prepared in advance, such as sliced apples, carrot sticks, grapes, boiled eggs, or small containers of unsweetened yogurt, can reduce the temptation to reach for heavily processed foods when hunger strikes unexpectedly. Even carrying a piece of fruit or a small portion of nuts while traveling can help prevent impulsive purchases from vending machines or convenience stores. It's important to remember that no single snack determines your health. Eating a cookie at a birthday party or enjoying chips during a special occasion isn't likely to damage healthy kidneys by itself. The real issue is the overall pattern of eating. When ultra-processed snacks become everyday habits instead of occasional treats, they can quietly influence body weight, blood pressure, blood sugar, and overall nutrition. Your kidneys depend on a healthy internal environment to perform their remarkable job of filtering waste and maintaining balance. By choosing wholesome snacks more often and treating heavily processed foods as occasional indulgences rather than daily necessities, you're taking another practical step toward protecting not only your entire body. Small improvements made consistently may seem minor today, but over the course of months and years, they can become some of the most powerful investments you make in your lifelong health. Finally, let's discuss something that often surprises people. Not every food that requires caution is considered unhealthy. In fact, some foods that are widely recognized as nutritious can require special attention under certain medical circumstances. This is where many people become confused after watching videos online or reading health advice on social media. They hear someone say that bananas are bad, tomatoes should be avoided, dairy is harmful, or nuts are dangerous, and they assume these foods are unhealthy for everyone. The truth is much more balanced. For most people with healthy kidneys, these foods can be valuable parts of a nutritious diet. However, for individuals who already have reduced kidney function, some of these foods may need to be eaten in different amounts or prepared differently based on personalized medical advice. This highlights one of the most important principles in medicine. Nutrition is not one size fits all. Every person's health history, laboratory results, medications, and stage of kidney function are different. What supports one person's health may not be appropriate for someone else. That's why broad statements claiming that a single food is good or bad for everyone can be misleading. The healthiest eating plan is the one that matches your individual health needs, rather than following trends or generalized advice found on the internet. Take potassium as an example. Potassium is an essential mineral that helps regulate muscle contractions, supports nerve function, and contributes to a healthy heartbeat. Many potassium-rich foods, such as bananas, oranges, avocados, spinach, potatoes, beans, and tomatoes, are packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. For people with healthy kidneys, these foods are often excellent nutritional choices. Healthy kidneys are very effective at maintaining the right potassium balance by removing excess amounts through urine. However, when kidney function becomes significantly reduced, the body may have difficulty removing extra potassium. In these situations, potassium levels in the blood can rise higher than recommended, which is why some people with advanced kidney disease receive individualized guidance about limiting certain potassium-rich foods. This recommendation is based on their specific medical condition, not because these foods are inherently unhealthy. The same principle applies to phosphorus. Phosphorus plays an important role in building strong bones, supporting teeth, and helping cells produce energy. It's naturally found in foods such as dairy products, fish, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whole grains. These foods provide many valuable nutrients and are generally considered part of a balanced diet for healthy individuals. However, if kidney function declines significantly, excess phosphorus may accumulate in the bloodstream because the kidneys can no longer remove it as efficiently. For this reason, healthcare professionals may recommend monitoring phosphorus intake in people with advanced chronic kidney disease. Again, this doesn't mean phosphorus-rich foods should be avoided by everyone. It simply demonstrates how nutritional recommendations change depending on an individual's health status. Protein is another excellent example of personalized nutrition. Protein is essential for maintaining muscles, repairing tissues, supporting the immune system, and countless other functions throughout the body. Lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy products, beans, lentils, and tofu all provide important protein. Most healthy adults benefit from consuming appropriate amounts of protein as part of a balanced diet. However, some individuals with chronic kidney disease may receive recommendations to adjust their protein intake, depending on their stage of kidney function and overall treatment plan. This decision is carefully individualized and should never be based solely on information from social media or popular diet trends. One of the greatest challenges today is the overwhelming amount of health information available online. Every day, new videos, articles, and posts claim that certain foods are miracle cures, while others are labeled as toxic or dangerous. These dramatic headlines attract attention, but they rarely tell the complete story. Nutrition is far more complex than simple lists of foods to eat or avoid. A person's age, activity level, medical history, medications, kidney function, blood test results, and overall lifestyle all influence what is most appropriate for them. That's why it's important to approach sensational health claims with caution and rely on evidence-based guidance rather than fear-driven messaging. If you have been diagnosed with kidney disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure, your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian can help create a nutrition plan tailored specifically to your needs. They consider laboratory values, current medications, nutritional requirements, and long-term health goals before making dietary recommendations. This personalized approach is far safer and more effective than copying someone else's meal plan or eliminating nutritious foods without a medical reason. For everyone else with healthy kidneys, the focus should remain on eating a balanced diet filled with a variety of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, legumes, nuts, and seeds all contribute important nutrients that support overall health. Rather than fearing individual foods, it's far more beneficial to pay attention to overall dietary patterns. Consistently choosing minimally processed foods, limiting excessive sodium and added sugars, staying physically active, maintaining a healthy body weight, and drinking enough water are habits that support kidney health for most people. The most important lesson to remember is this: healthy nutrition isn't about following extreme rules or eliminating entire food groups without a medical reason. It's about understanding that your body is unique. Your kidneys work tirelessly to maintain balance, and the best way to support them is through informed, consistent choices based on reliable medical guidance. When you focus on long-term habits instead of short-term trends, you give your kidneys, and your entire body, the best opportunity to remain healthy for years to come. Your kidneys work around the clock, every minute, every hour, every day. They filter your blood, remove waste, balance fluids, support healthy blood pressure, and help keep your body functioning properly. Most people never think about them until something goes wrong. But protecting your kidneys doesn't usually require dramatic changes. It often begins with small, consistent decisions made every day: choosing less processed food, reducing excess sodium, drinking more water, eating a balanced diet, staying active, and scheduling regular medical checkups when appropriate. Remember, this video is intended for educational purposes and should not replace personalized medical advice. If you have existing kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, or concerns about your kidney health, speak with a qualified healthcare professional for guidance tailored to your individual needs. If you found this discussion helpful, consider sharing it with friends and family. Sometimes, one simple piece of health information can encourage someone to make choices that support their long-term well-being. Thank you for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next health discussion. Stay healthy and stay informed.